This episode will be dedicated to the latest release from the band called Public Figures from Melbourne, Australia. And if you want to hear more, please stick around. This is all gas, no trash. My name's Adam, and welcome back to the program, and welcome to a brand new episode. I do have to go on a bit of a rant, so to speak. As of late, I have been putting a lot of time into finding new music. Some of it falls in my lap. Other times, I'm really going down rabbit holes of just finding whatever is out there on Spotify or whatever sources I use to find music. And while I have found quite a bit, I don't feel like it's worthy of being on this program, so I end up just kind of casting it aside. And that's the reason that we haven't gotten around to, more episodes per week. I've only been doing one. And if I had to be perfectly honest, one of the anchoring points for 2026 was getting to Public Figures EP called Figure It Out that's coming out on February 18th, which is just, I think, a little under 2 weeks away. So I've just been trying to get to that point, and everything else after that, I'm not entirely sure what's going to happen, but I hope I can find music to talk about in the future. Well, aside from that, let's go ahead and get into talking about Public Figures, the band. We have made episodes in the past about them, starting with Onto Something, the first release that I was able to hear from the band, and then thereafter there was Landed in a Trap and also How I'm Feeling. And I finally feel like I've come around to that song. One criticism that I had was I felt that the intro was a little on the long side, but I've really sat down and listened to it, and I feel like my opinion has changed about it, and I think it's a really excellent track. It shows a different side of Public Figures, maybe pivoting away from more of the punk rock sound to something that sounds more like the Blur. Like Damon Albarn, things of that ilk. And I just really like that track a lot now. Now we have Cut It Out, which is the latest track that we're going to be hearing from them, which has already been featured on the Breakfasters program, which is on Triple R, the radio station, but they've also been featured on Triple J, the radio station itself, one of the largest radio stations in Australia. So they've been getting recognized for their music, and I appreciate that. I think they deserve it. And I also believe they can go toe-to-toe with a band like the Chats. I really think they are going to be that caliber of an artist to get as big as a band like the Chats, internationally known and going to all different parts of the world to have their music played and everything. So I'm very hopeful for this band. And with this new single, I hope my my opinion is further galvanized. And I'm trying to think of other things that I might have forgotten. They also have some tour dates coming up that I wanted to note specifically. And there's one that is not listed in text, but they have it on their graphics. So we have, let's see here. We have March 1st, BMF. I don't know what that means. Brunswick Ballroom in Victoria, although the city is not listed. Golden Plains Festival, March 6th in Victoria. March 14th, Torquay Surf Club with Coffin in Victoria. March 26th, Oaf Gallery, Sydney, New South Wales. March 27th, Descent, Canberra. They'll be playing in Canberra. And then we also have March 28th, High Country Hop Fest in Victoria. April 3rd, we have Last Chance in Melbourne, Victoria. And then there's one other date that they didn't post up on their... Well, it's in the graphic. It's March 21st, Jerkfest in Victoria. But yeah, so those are some of the dates that they're going to be playing. If anybody's from Australia that is listening, you can check them out. You can also find all that information on their Instagram profile for you to check out. And, without further ado, let's go ahead and get to the music. I'm very excited to hear this track. I've been foaming at the mouth. I've been salivating to get some new music from Public Figures as we have been waiting for the EP to drop, Figure It Out, which is coming out February 18th. Again, that EP is coming out February 18th. But let's go ahead and get to the track, Cut It Out, and pull it up on... Well, actually, you can't pull it up on Spotify, but you can look it up on YouTube, check out the music video on their YouTube channel. Just type in Public Figures, Cut It Out, and it should come up in the first search results. pull it up. Let's give it a spin. Once again, that song is Cut It Out from Public Figures. Going in. All right, welcome back. That was Public Figures with their song called Cut It Out. Let us know in the comments what you thought about it. And before we get underway to talking about the song itself, there is some additional information to be shared. On their Bandcamp profile, you can already find the EP available for pre-order in addition to being able to purchase the vinyl. But at the moment, it's already sold out, but I'm sure they'll restock it at some point. But we also have the track list for the EP, which includes Cut It Out, Honeycomb, Landed in a Trap, Onto Something, Repeat It, and How I'm Feeling. So 4 of the 6 songs have already been released. 2/3 of the EP has already been released, and we just need to hear the last 2 songs. But yeah, I can't say enough good things about this band. I really think they are a standout in the Australian music scene, not just within Melbourne, but just in general. I think they really do have the capacity to be on par with artists like Amyl and the Sniffers in addition to the Chats. It's just a matter of time. Like I said, they've already been played on Triple J and Triple R. Having played with Shannon and the Clams, I'm not sure at what point, but it seems like within the promotional text for the EP, they specifically point out that they have played with Shannon and the Clams, Magic Dirt, Gut Health. Gut Health, dude, so if you check out the previous episodes that we have made about Public Figures, I think it's like Artist News, Public Figures, or Latest Update. I actually specifically talk about how Public Figures had played with Gut Health previously, and that's another band that I think is a real standout in the Melbourne post-punk or punk scene. To have 2 bands like Public Figures and also Gut Health in Melbourne, I mean, it's very exciting times within that city. So in addition to that, they have also played with Amyl and the Sniffers. You already know that because of that show that ended up getting canceled because of security issues. They didn't want people bunching up in a tight space and potentially dying. So that was just an unfortunate situation, but at least Public Figures got to win over some fans with their set. I'm sure that they were capable of doing that. So as far as the song goes, like I said, it's classic like rock and roll. It reminds me of like Sex Pistols and the Runaways. And I'm sure people have more apt descriptions to describe this band. I just can't think of any at this moment. I don't even actually have any critiques about the song itself. It's just my opinion has just unwavered or been unwavering because they're so fucking good. Like, they just have everything. They have the visuals down from the press photos or whatever photos they need in their press kit, and the music videos are really kick-ass. I really love the music video that they put out with this single, and the music is spectacular. There's nothing really to knock them on. They're just like the complete package, and I really do believe that they are capable of reaching the platitudes of a band like Amyl and the Sniffers or even the Chats. It's just going to be a matter of time. But just within the short amount of time that we've been able to hear their music, the 4 singles that we've heard, I just think this band is already on their way with the things that they've been able to accomplish in such a short span of time. I think to put themselves on the map, they're going to need to put out a debut album at some point. I don't know how quickly that'll happen because we're already getting this EP to be released on February 18th to sustain us for at least a couple months. But I mean, as far as getting a debut album, I think we're going to have to wait until like 2028 at the very minimum. But yeah, I think Public Figures is a fantastic band. I wish them all the best. I mean, I want to keep up with all their releases, and I'm sure they got one more single in their pocket just before their EP is released. Or maybe they don't. I don't know. But in any case, we will be here once Figure It Out is released. And I guess we'll see you in 2 weeks, and we'll talk about this EP at length and lay to rest any criticisms or doubts people may have about this band, and we'll hype them up as much as possible. But anyways, thank you so much for tuning in. I'll catch you all next time.